Hey guys, on Adeola's platform and Facebook, wherever you're joining us, I just want to welcome you to this extraordinary, it is extraordinary edition of Love and Relationship series. My name is Ruki Peniel, and I'm bringing you this edition. It's the second season actually, and we're starting this new season with Adeola. Hey Adeola, say hello to our viewers. I know it's your platform and most of them know you already, but still say hello. This is Love and Relationship series,
Hi guys, my name is
and you are
Adeola
my guest.
Fayehun. And
This is
and
this
yes, we
is
are
where the
on my
host
YouTube
becomes a
channel
guest.
today, but I am actually a guest on this show and I am honored to be on this show. They want to interview me, pray for me. I don't know what they will say, but God wants to help your girl.
Adela, you have come.
But yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
It's a huge honor. Thank you for honoring us, and thank you for accepting to talk about a woman, her career, and her relationship. So, Hope Now, Love and Relationship series is a platform where we try to talk about relationships in a very down to earth manner, bringing value, to men and women and empowering them, in order for their self esteem, to be strong and for them to realize that their life is really more than relationship. Yes, you're as successful as your relationships, but then again, you are the one who makes your relationship. So, having said that, let's dive in. I would love to introduce you to my viewers. I know your viewers know you, and I know a lot of people know you. But for those who don't know you, who may be joining us live or watching the playback or the replay, Adeola Fayehun was born in Nigeria. Her parents, Reverend Dr. Solomon Ajayi Oladele
Oh
and
my
Mother.
god.
Oh yes, I'm gonna
No,
go
no,
there.
no, no, don't. For
It's on
security purpose.
It's on Wikipedia.
Oh
Okay,
my
okay.
god.
Then you need to take it off Wiki. You need. Okay, so we
But
will
you don't
not do
need
that.
to. I'm
You're
just
a
the
public
producer of
person
Keeping
now.
It
You're
Real.
a
They
public
don't need to
person.
know
It's
more
all
about
over the
me.
internet.
I know, but you can just say I produce Keeping It Real. That's it.
Okay, okay. Adiola is the host of Keeping It Real. I know they know that. I know they know that already. You gotta take that off Wiki.
No, it wasn't me that put it there, but it's okay.
I guess
I'll
as much.
write
Yeah,
them.
you're very very famous, and I'm very happy that you've decided to talk about relationships with me today. Okay,
Thank you.
hey Adiola, it's a huge honor. I've said that over
Oh
and over
no.
again. Please, thank you. I just want, on behalf of my viewers, people have been excited, writing me and really looking forward to this show. So please tell our viewers more about yourself. I know that your viewers know you, but there may be some of my viewers. Hope Now Love and Relationship series is an intercontinental program, and we have
Okay.
people joining us from Asia, from every continent of the world. So please, in your own words, can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Hi, my name is Adeola Fayehun. I am a very gentle somebody, and sometimes I make troubles, and I like to mind my business. I'm usually very, very shy, very, very quiet. But when I seek a little, that is when I get in trouble. I am a journalist by profession. No, I'm a journalist by training and a troublemaker by profession,
Ha.
and I produce African news. And you guys already know all this. We're on my YouTube page, for God's sake. They
I
know.
know, right? I know, right? So they're just
They
gonna see
know.
all of the
So
former things you've done, all of the troubles you've been to. But today we're not talking trouble. We're talking relationships.
okay.
We're talking value, okay, to
Awesome.
people, to
Awesome.
people's relationships. How do you cope? So let our people know.
Okay.
At least this is a part of you. How do you cope with all the work of getting the new news beats together for keeping it real with Adiola and your family commitments? I know you're married. I know that you're a daughter, okay, and you have friends. I follow you online, and I see that you have friendships. You have a lot of relationships, and Hope Now is all about relationships. So how do you marry all of the different caps that you wear? What do you do to keep smiling and stay as easy as you are?
First of all, one has to smile. I mean, this life is way too short not to smile. Um, how do I cope? I honestly, I think the first thing is, if if you can learn to get up early in the morning, like very, very early, it helps. So you can get some things done before everybody wakes up.
Mm.
I do that, but I don't always do that because sometimes I don't sleep till like after midnight, like after 2 or something. But but if I'm not working till late, if I'm not editing till late and all that, I make sure that I get up at 5, and so I'm able to get a lot done between
Oh
then
wow.
and like 7. So, and then by then, whatever comes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think getting up early is number one. The other thing is just
Mm-hmm.
planning the day before the day starts. So like every single day I have a to-do list. Every single day. Like I would have a to-do list. So you're able to tackle what's important first and
That's
foremost
powerful.
before, because life happens,
That's
things come
powerful.
up and people need to go to places. I still have to run errands, believe it or not. I have a
I
lot of
know, I know, I know you
I
wear
run a
different
lot
caps.
of errands.
I
So
know.
before all the errands come, I have to write my to-do list. Okay, I have a meeting with this, with this, with it. It's like planning your day before the day starts. And I'm shooting at the time. I'm working on script at the time. I'm
That's
editing at
powerful.
so like just planning really helps. And for me, when I tick something that I'm done, it makes you happy. You want to tick something else.
Mm,
So
mm,
so I'm all about ticking throughout that day. I may not get to something
mm.
till the end of the day, but I will make sure that I get to it. And then whatever I don't get to, I carry it to the next day. But just being able to check things. I don't look at it like, oh, I still have a lot to do. I look at it like, oh my God, look at all that I've been able to do. And then,
That's powerful.
tomorrow is
That's
another day. I
powerful.
don't beat myself up. So, like, a show was supposed to come out last night, and then your girl wasn't feeling too well and all that. Like, life happens. And I remember I have this interview today, and I'm like, it would not be good for me to be coughing in the middle of this
On the
interview.
interview.
I was gonna wing it all night, but I was like, no, let me get some sleep so that I can do this interview. So I think getting up early, planning your day, having a to-do list, and just checking it and staying away from distractions. It's good to be on Facebook, good to be on Instagram and all that, but you can actually have allotted times to go on social media. You don't have to be
Powerful.
there throughout the day. I mean, I want you to be so you can be on my Facebook and see what I post, but but you can also
Oh wow.
just plan and say, you know what, I'm going on Instagram or Facebook during my break time, or
Structural time.
during my,
Yes.
yeah, like just having allotted time for it helps me. Otherwise you would just realize you spent the entire day on Facebook or you spent the entire day on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Preach it.
So that's
Preach it.
that's
That's
how
very
I
powerful.
that's how I that's how I do it.
Oh wow. Thanks for sharing. That's very powerful. The most powerful thing I picked is wake up early. I mean, I'm an early bird, but yeah, someone needed to hear that. Wake up as early as you can, and then order your day already on paper on your to-do list. You know what you want to do for what time. That's very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. Now
Yeah.
I see how you cope.
Yeah, like you have to do for the month, to do for the week, and then to do for the
Right?
day, if that makes sense. It's like
Planning.
breaking it all down. Like I'm like, okay, I want to make this number of videos this month. So this is the days I'm shooting this month. This is the days I'm anyway. It's just about planning it. So
That's why you can get so much done. You see, guys, productivity is not by accident. That's a powerful point that you've shared with us. So I just hope somebody's going to run with that. The next thing I would like you to share, and this is for the diaspora, as a glowing example of an African, in diaspora, just like I am. What is the one thing you want Africans living on the continent itself, to know about life in diaspora? And I have that question in part A, B, C. So that's the first one. What do you want to tell the Africans on the continent about life in diaspora? You know what I mean? Because people just think it's all rosy and golden and yeah, okay. Adeola, what have you to say to our people at home in
so
Africa,
as
on the
you're
continent?
asking me as you're asking me these questions, um, I'm putting it on Facebook
Okay.
so that people know the next question that I'm answering.
Yeah.
So, my advice to Africans on the continent, especially if you have never lived in the diaspora, is
Mm-hmm.
that abroad is not heaven.
Yeah. Preach it.
That's just the summary of abroad is not heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Abroad is just like you going from one location to another location in your country. It doesn't Your
Yes.
life doesn't change just because you went from Lagos to Abuja.
Mm-hmm.
You changing location doesn't necessarily change your life, because there are issues in
Yes.
Abuja that you will meet,
Mm-hmm.
and there are issues in Lagos where you are coming from. Life is
Right.
different there, but just landing in another part of the country or another part of the world doesn't
Word.
translate into your life just changing like that.
Automatically.
So
Yes.
automatically. So now when you now move to another country, it's just like if you move from Lagos to Abuja, now you are looking for a job in Abuja, you are looking for housing in Abuja, you need to
Mm-hmm.
get electricity in Abuja. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing like when you move to the
To
US.
settle down. Yeah.
It's just like now you have to do the same thing that you would do if you move to another country. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
reason I said abroad is not heaven is because people actually suffer a lot abroad.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that, but life
Mm-hmm.
abroad is not easy at all. Like
Mm-mm.
if you, okay, even if you have your residency in the new country, it just means now you have to work really, really hard. I don't know
Right.
if you, I feel like
Right.
back at home in Nigeria where I'm from, people work hard, but there are a lot of things that people can get away with in Nigeria that you cannot
Yes. Yes.
try it here. Like you can't, you have to clock when you go to some work here in
Yes. There's a
America.
lot of
So
accountability.
there's
Yeah.
nothing like somebody signing for you if you are not
For
there. Like
you.
you actually have
Mm-hmm.
to show up the time that you are expected to show up, and you actually have to do the work
That you're being paid for.
that you are being paid for. Um, you will find yourself working late at night. You will find yourself working in winter time when it's cold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not easy here to make money. I feel like people have been told that, oh, once you get out of your country and you are in America or Canada or whatever, you are in heaven. It has a lot of
Yeah.
advantages, like especially if you're a resident, then you get health insurance and so on. But it doesn't mean that life is easy. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you're in another country and you don't have your residency, that's a whole nother issue, because
Mm-hmm.
you that is when you know the meaning of sofa. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to make fun of if somebody doesn't have their residency, because I have been there. Like I came in with my
Student.
student visa. So, and
Yeah.
in America, especially transitioning from student status to a resident
It's harrowing. It's
is really,
everywhere in
really
Europe as well.
hard. It's really hard in America. I don't know about Europe. I think it's easier in
It's the same.
Canada, but
It's
it's
the same
really
in
hard
Europe.
in
It's
America. Oh,
hard.
you are going to suffer. You
Mm-hmm.
work under the table and stuff like that. Like it's not, or you start your own business, or it's not easy at all. And a
Mm.
lot of people have done things that they shouldn't necessarily do
Do.
because of this, like things that are not legal. And I'm not judging anyone, but you don't even have that peace of mind. And then if you go out, you can't come back
Come back here.
unless you have your residency. And it's really hard
Right.
to have your residency. What I mean by residency is the legal paper that allows you to work,
To
the
stay
paper
here.
that allows you to work legally and allows you to build your credit. America is all about credit. So life is
Mm-hmm.
not easy in America. Now, having said all that, people will not necessarily believe you. They would say, if it's that hard, why don't you come and let us
Right. Right.
exchange?
Right. Mm.
Which I don't know how to explain it, because um, the fact that people don't want to exchange with you and you're in Africa doesn't necessarily mean they don't have the challenges that they are facing where they are.
Mm.
So they just told me that I said abroad is heaven. I meant to say abroad is not heaven.
Abroad
Oh
is not
my
heaven.
God.
I didn't think that too.
Oh,
Thank you for that watcher.
thank you for the
Watch it.
person that
Thank you.
you
Abroad is not
know,
heaven. No, it is not.
it is
It's
not heaven, is what I'm trying to say. Abroad is not. And it
no,
depends.
no, no, no.
Some people have found themselves in a place where they don't even speak English, and then they have to learn. Like if you're in Germany, for example,
Like
there are
in
some
Switzerland,
parts,
yeah.
and you have to learn the language
You
of
have to
the
learn the
place at
language
your
and the
age.
culture, not just the language,
Not just the
Adeola.
language, the culture. So now at your age, you are not learning.
You have to
You
integrate.
have to integrate. You're not learning another language. Not just that, the food is so different in different
Oh yeah.
countries, and you get to a different
And the
country,
weather.
and the weather, and then you get to a
Talking
different
about
country,
health
and
too.
suddenly all the food that you are used to all your life, you just realize, wait, I'm hungry. I have not. There's nothing I've eaten that it doesn't reach that place. You know what I mean?
Uh-uh.
So oh my God, I wrote Abroad is Heaven. What was I thinking?
Abroad is not heaven. Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. I am so
Abroad
sorry,
is so
guys,
not
but
heaven. That's what we're
I'm
trying to
sure,
get across to those on the
I'm
continent.
sure you
So
guys, you
when someone
understand.
sends you money, please appreciate them.
When somebody sends you money, you better don't. Someone called me one time, this was even a long time ago, and said, just send me 400,000 and
Just
just 400,000. And I was just like,
then you calculate it in dollars, eh?
oh yeah, oh my God, if you can just give me this amount in dollars,
It's just
at least this month.
if I had someone to
Another
quickly
thing
call.
is people pay bills every single month
Mm-hmm.
in abroad. In the abroad, you have to pay bills every single month. Every single month you have to pay
You have
bills.
to, like
In
with a big
Nigeria,
H.
for
Have.
example, uh in Nigeria, for example, you only pay house rent like
Mm-hmm.
once
Mm-hmm.
a year.
And maybe in electricity
Yeah, well, you pay
now.
electricity, I think, every month. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not here. You pay bills every single month. So I hope that helps someone. There's no shortcut. Number one, there's no
There's no.
shortcut in the
Yeah.
abroad, and number two, you have to adjust to the weather and everything and the food. And number three, you pay
Mm-hmm.
bills every single month. As the money is coming in like that, it's going on. Especially if you
It's
have,
going. It's going. Yeah.
especially if you have a lot of family members that are, or people that are
Dependent.
asking you for something. Yeah. So it's not
Wow.
easy. It's not easy in the abroad, but we thank God.
It. We
And then
thank
you
God.
have to deal
Yes.
with racism. Depending on where you are, you have to deal with racism, or you may have to deal with racism. I mean, so
I believe that the purpose of asking you that question is to help people appreciate what diasporans do, because people have written me a
yeah.
lot, and most of their stress is coming from their family on the continent.
Okay.
And the problem is because they don't have appreciation of what that person went through to send that $100. So because they wanted $500 or €500, and the person was only able to do 100, and it's very horrible. Most of them go into depression, and put themselves under pressure, or even go into illicit deals, wanting to just impress those on the continent. So please, guys, on the continent, realize that, like Adeola said, it's not easy. The second question I want to ask you is that diasporas deal with a lot of emotional pressure, which you've talked about, especially with the restricted travel due to the pandemic right now. Have you a motivational word for diasporans? A lot of people have not been able to travel home or travel anywhere at all this year. It's been hard because I'm into counseling, and so I know the kind of calls and
So, if I were to talk to Africans in the diaspora, besides what's going on right now and people not being able to travel, honestly, my main message to Africans in the diaspora would just be: don't try to impress anybody on
mm-hmm,
the continent. Don't try to
mm-hmm,
impress
mm-hmm.
anybody at home. And I'm
I
sorry to say
agree.
this, but there are some Africans in the diaspora that have put the rest of us in trouble,
Thank
because
you.
you
Preach
will
it.
you will go home. I don't if you can
Preach it.
move if you can move a
Let
little
me drink
bit
my tea.
if you can
Hmm.
move a little bit so we can see more of you. If you can move to the other side, I don't know if you that
Here,
yeah, towards that place is better.
can you see me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's now you're centered. Great. So
Okay.
some of you, you will go home. You okay, so they would work all year and then they go home in December and they are displaying the
Mm-hmm.
latest
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, the latest
Mm-hmm. Cars.
designers, and then
Mm-hmm.
the latest car, the latest everything, and so
Mm-hmm.
they get home, they want to
Mm-hmm.
show off. And so everybody at home now believes abroad must be
Is
good. You
easy.
see, things
Is
must be easy.
rosy.
Look at this person. They don't know whether this person was working daytime, nighttime, part time, and overtime the entire
Mm-hmm.
year, and then they brought everything to blow it off. And so they
Mm.
impress people, and then they leave. They leave after that Christmas. They don't come back again for another because
Until
when they
another year or two.
yeah, when they get back, they have to go and start all over
Uh-huh.
working daytime, nighttime, but they have no savings. Some of these people have absolutely no savings, but they impress
Mm-hmm.
people at home, and then they
Mm-hmm.
come back, and then they start all over. And then so the rest of us that will go home, not maybe not even December, but we have to go home every now and then. As soon as we get home, people are like,
Then we're under pressure.
now we are under pressure. And they're like, just
Eh,
100,000, just drop 100,000. I'm like, you these people,
the way
you
they
don't
call the
know, you don't.
prices, the
And then they
amount.
will tell you, maybe we saw Lagbaja came home
Uh-huh.
over the Christmas, he even gave me
And
his
brought
old
iPhone.
phone because now he's using iPhone. And I'm like, but that is Lagbaja, that is not me. You don't know. I don't know the kind of work that Lagbaja is
They
doing.
do.
I don't know how Lagbaja, I don't know if Lagbaja has any money in savings whatsoever. I cannot
Or you don't know, maybe
now
they have
come
something
and
on the
kill
side also.
myself because Lagbaja impressed you. So, some of you, if I
Mm-hmm.
can just beg you, don't live fake life. Don't make people at home believe that you are rolling in money when maybe you are working as security at there's nothing wrong in doing security job. But maybe
Yes.
you're doing security at one place like that, working every evening overnight, and
Mm-hmm.
you hate this job. You're out in the cold, you're working, but you don't let people know the reality of your life here in America. You're just impressing them. You put the rest of us under pressure. Please
That's so
stop.
powerful. Mm-hmm.
Please
That's so
don't
powerful.
stop
The
doing that.
transparency, let people, and some of them also have loans. They have
Some
credit.
people are living on credit. That's the thing. Your
You
car
do.
is on credit. Your home,
Eh?
you're making monthly payments. Everything is on credit, but you don't let people in Nigeria
You're not
or whatever
transparent.
country
Yes.
you're from. You don't let them know that okay, life is not that easy.
It's not like
Because
that.
then you
It's
put
not
the
the way
rest
you
of us
see.
in base. When they ask for 500, they just say some people will just send 2 million. So when they ask for 2 million naira now, and you don't have, and you generally don't have, and you're telling them you don't have, automatically they
Ah,
believe you are stingy. They
you're stingy.
believe
Yes.
you don't want to give them. And there's some of these people that are putting the rest of us in trouble. And then they come
Uh-huh.
back and they are doing maybe two, three, four jobs at the same time
To catch up.
to catch up. So ẹ dákun
Preach
torí
it,
Ọlọ́run.
Adela. Thank you. Thank you. You all had your girl, Adiola.
Oh.
God, they say it's me. Tell us a fun fact about yourself, Adiola.
Ah,
Um, tell us, apart from Kolidowo, tell us something that we need to know about you that's going to make us laugh. Or
I don't.
everything
There's
about you makes me
nothing.
laugh. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they already.
tell us
I feel
something
like they
fun.
already. They
What's your
already
favorite
know.
meal? What's your favorite food?
Um, it depends. I eat a lot of fruits and I eat a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
So, let's see. Fun factor about me. I
What do you
enjoy
for fun?
singing. I enjoy singing. Um,
Ah,
I
really?
yeah, I do. I used
Are
to
you
sing
planning on waxing a?
when I was in Nigeria. I used to sing in the church choir.
Really? Do you still sing?
So I sing in my shower. I do. I do sing in.
You should sing on one of your shows, or maybe you can sing. Do you want to sing for us now?
No, not right now. My
I
voice
know
is
there's some fun
rusty.
fact about you. Oh wow, that's cool to know that you sing. I like to sing too. Okay, so our viewers sends us questions from time to time on love and relationship series,
Okay.
and I'd like you to answer two of them for us. One is, how can one divorce prove a marriage? This is like one of the top questions that married people ask me. And it's usually because they're on the brink of divorce. And so they're
How
wondering
can
they
one
did or
divorce
they didn't do.
prove a marriage? Okay, so I personally, I don't think that anybody goes into marriage with the intention of getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there are things that you do before you get into the marriage. I don't think it is when you get into the marriage that you think about these things. So for me,
I
I feel
agree.
like these are things that should be well thought of before
Due diligence, I call
you
it. Yeah, I agree with
even
you.
decide to say I do to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like a lot of times people don't pay enough attention to character traits in people. And then they end up in a marriage and they're like, oh, what's happening? And sometimes you see some things when you're dating someone and then you choose to ignore it, thinking that, oh, maybe it's just a phase. Or maybe, I know women especially who believe, oh, I can change him. You cannot change
Mm-hmm.
anybody. You are not God.
No,
There's a reason why you are not God, and it's because you cannot change
you
anybody.
cannot change anyone. Yes.
So you should never go into marriage with the idea of wanting to change someone because
Change
you were
someone.
not.
Thank
And
you.
I always tell people that whatever you notice when you're dating someone, just know that everything you see will be multiplied after you
Thank
get
you.
married to the person. Everything you
Thank
see will
you.
be multiplied by 10
Yes.
after you
Once
get
someone
married to the
shows you their
person.
character, believe them the first time.
So, if for any reason you are seeing things that you know you cannot live with,
Mm.
the time that you're dating is the time to call it a quit. You
Yes.
don't have to marry somebody just because you guys dated. That's another thing I feel like in growing up in Nigeria, some Christians, not all of them, but some Christians believe, oh, once you are in a relationship, courtship, it is to get married. So there are some Christians that don't believe in dating, they say courtship. And it's because some people
You have to get
believe,
to know.
yeah, some people believe that dating means you are sleeping around, but that's not true.
No,
Dating
no.
literally means
Dating is
getting to
interview.
know
I call it
someone.
interview sessions.
Preach, my sister. Dating is getting to know someone. So
Yes.
which is why people propose. I don't know if some Nigerians actually understand the idea of proposing, but it is
Mm-hmm.
after you have dated someone
Mm-hmm.
and you've dated long enough, because some people don't date long enough to actually know someone.
To get to know.
Yes. So after you've dated long enough and the person and you guys decide to get married, that's when the guy asks the girl, do you want us to get married? So you're not under pressure to marry anybody
Mm-hmm.
just because you guys dated, is what I'm trying to say. It's okay to date
Yes.
someone, and if you see that it's not going to work out, it's okay to go your separate ways amicably. You can still be friends, and if they refuse to be your friend, that's fine. You can still live your life. But you don't necessarily have to, you should never continue a relationship when you've sensed that something is not right. You're not supposed to
Mm.
manage it.
Mm.
So for me, if you want to divorce prove your marriage, I feel like
Yes,
it
I
is
agree with
before the
you. That's
marriage
the
that
answer I
you
was
have
looking.
to. It's not just about what is the person doing, the job, the whatever. It is about,
Mm-hmm.
is this person, does
Character.
this person genuinely love me
Mm.
unconditionally, or do they
Mm.
only love me
And are they
when
secure, right?
they are they secure? Do they have their own
Yeah,
self-esteem?
because
Are they
women
secure? Do
women
they
are the
have
ones who sell
ego?
themselves short.
Yeah, do they have ego problem? Because some people have
Yes.
ego issues. Also, is this person happy for me when I'm successful? You know what I mean? Like, is,
Yes.
or do this person feel jealous when I finished my undergraduate, I'm going for my master's? Are they saying things like, oh, I think we should at least have one child first, or it's not, it's not going to work, or why don't you put your education on hold until after the children are grown? These are like red flags that a lot of
Yes.
people don't like. What about
Want.
you coming on board with what I want as well? Marriage should
Mm-hmm.
never be about one person.
Mm-hmm.
It should never be about one person's dreams. Unfortunately, again, a lot of people are raised up to believe once you get married, it is now about your husband's vision. So you're supposed to support. You know what I mean? What about
Right.
you both become a team? You want him to be the best he can be. He wants you to be the best you can be, and you're both the best that you can be together in your
Right.
different fields. His success, your success. It's like his success is your success, her success is your success. If the success translates to money, guess
So it's a
who?
teamwork.
It should, you should both be a team. You know, the soccer
And that
team,
takes a lot of emotional maturity.
it takes a lot of maturity overall, because like a soccer
Yeah.
team, for example, everybody on the team wants to be the best that they can be for their team.
To
You
make
don't
the play,
you
yeah, to make the
Yeah,
match. Yeah.
you never tell a
To
player to
win.
scale down his
Right.
skill
Everyone
for
gives
the
their best.
team. You tell your players to practice all they can to build. You never tell, okay, you are becoming too much. Maybe you should just tone it, and you're on the
Nobody's
same
looking out
team.
to dull anyone's shine. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody is
That's a
like,
sure way to get
we
thrown out of
have
a
to
team,
win
actually, in
this. We have to
football.
win this. Whatever you need to do. If you
Yeah.
have to get, I know husbands that will tell their wives, because the wife has always wanted to have PhD. I know husbands that will tell their wives, you have to do this. You must get your PhD. Whether if,
Yes.
even if I have to work less hours and I take care of the kids on weekends or whatever, you go to the library. We're on the same team. I'm rooting for you. You and
That's team. That's teamwork.
there was one time I featured a guy whose wife had a baby and got her PhD at the same time, and she was on top of her class in Canada.
I think I saw
And
that show.
she
Yeah.
didn't even know that he sent this to me. Like, that's
I
how
remember that.
much
Yeah. I remember
he
that show.
supports his wife's dreams. And so
Those are the kind of
and
men we
I'm
need more.
exactly, and I'm pretty sure he made a lot of sacrifices just to see her
Of
dream
course.
come to pass. And
Of
guess what?
course.
Now, if she's getting a job, she will get a better job with the PhD,
Of course.
which the
And better
PhD degree
quality
that
of
she
life.
has. But yeah, and guess who's having better quality? Both of them and their
Both of them,
children.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Because
So
it's a
I feel
family, yeah.
like marriage, to be divorce proof, you plan ahead. You make sure you marry
I
somebody
agree.
that genuinely loves you, genuinely wants to see both of you succeed. Someone that is at least calm and collected in the head. You know what? You
Emotionally,
know
yeah,
what?
mature
And someone
and
that is
secure.
not insecure, because
Yes, yes.
some men can be insecure if
I
their
know,
wife
right?
is
I
making
know.
money. And
Tell me
this
about it.
life is like, it's not fixed. Sometimes the woman can make more money, sometimes the man can make more money.
I
It
know.
just, it's not, nothing is fixed. You know what
And
I
it's
mean?
incredible when there's
So
competition between a couple,
you don't just get married
surfaces.
because everybody is getting married. You don't just get
Uh-huh.
married because, okay, that's the next thing. You get married because you are ready for it, you are matured
Yes,
for
and you
it,
have
you're,
a vision.
and yes, and you
Yeah.
found the person that you know you can build a life with. You know, because
Wow.
you'll be stuck together for decades, so, or
For
you
yeah,
may
for
be
decades,
stuck together, I
forever,
should say.
hopefully.
So
That's why we asked that question, divorce proof. Thank you so much for doing justice to that question. And the final question asked by our viewers is truth always healthy for a relationship? And I'm going to take a couple of questions from those who joined us live. But yeah, the pre-asked question is truth always healthy for a relationship? Somebody asked that.
So people have been commenting as we were doing this, and I saw someone that wrote a comment that getting a PhD, don't let it get in your head.
You see,
And
you see,
so I don't
see,
know, I don't know this person, and so it would be
there are some.
wrong for me to assume that this kind of person may not want his wife to get a PhD. But
Mhm.
it's not about something getting in your head. It's about when
Achieving
you
a
have,
life goal, right?
exactly. Like, so I don't know. I feel
Just
like
being
some people
interested in the
just
happiness
feel,
of your
yeah,
spouse.
just be happy for the person. They want to get their masters, just be
That's
happy for them, let
exactly,
them
those
get
are the
it.
kind of people
They
we're
want to
talking
get their
about.
PhD, just be happy for them, let them get it. Like,
Oh,
they have a life.
wow.
Their life shouldn't be stuck just because they're married to you. And
Hmm.
it's the same with you, because you would not want your life to get stuck just because
To
you
get
married
stuck.
somebody else. So I
Hmm.
thought that, I saw that, and I thought I should just address
Oh,
it.
really? Okay. So you see, we have to
So
talk about that.
so
I believe.
so you were asking about
Is truth always healthy for a
truth.
relationship? Somebody asked.
Honestly, I believe so. I think
Me too.
spouses should always say the truth to
Be
each other,
transparent. I agree with you.
even before you get married to someone. If there are things that happened in your past that
Hmm.
that the person should know, like, you don't want them getting married to you and then finding out things about you and being
Hmm.
surprised, like, why didn't you tell me this, you know? um I think building a relationship on truth helps you
Hmm.
to weather through the storms, because you know
Yeah.
you have a team. Is once again, I'm going back to like teammates on a sport. Imagine if two people are playing tennis and you're on the same team and your teammate is not honest with you. Once
Yeah.
again, you're on the
Disclosing
same
what you should
team.
know. Yeah.
You're supposed to be on the same page, because you're on the same team, because you have the same goal. You both want to win in life. So you should never lie to your partner.
I love that. I love that simple but very pointed. It's true because if you're on the team with someone, then you ought to be very transparent with them. So we're gonna say you're the one who can see the questions. I can't. I don't have that window. Can you see if anyone asks? And so I'm gonna throw it out to
Oh, there
you.
was
Those
one
who are joining
question
us live.
that we talked about earlier. You said that a lady who is dealing with a lot, and if a lady feels hopeless, how can they, something like that? I don't
That's right.
remember.
That's right. I actually, yes, it's true. What can you tell a lady who is dealing with so much that she feels hopeless right now? That's true. That's one question that we skipped.
Okay, so you mean in terms
Because
of.
I watched one of your few episodes, and because as you know, or for your viewers who might not know, I'm a counselor. I'm a legal counselor. I'm a pastoral counselor. So I deal with ladies going through a lot. Some guys as well, but it's usually women. Okay. And I watched this last one of your last episodes where this woman was murdered by her husband and all of that. And as a counselor, as a therapist, I just followed the story with my mind's eye, and I knew that at every point she had windows, that she could have escaped from that relationship, just like most of your viewers actually thought as well. But I want you to, because I know that it still happens. I mean, I'm dealing with real life issues still, real life cases rather, of women who are going through one form of abuse. It always starts with emotional abuse, verbal abuse, financial abuse before it escalates. What will you tell a lady? The reason ladies get stuck in a relationship is because of hopelessness, or fear of what people would think. What have you to say to some lady going through a spate of hopelessness right now because of their relationship, either marriage or, yeah.
Okay, that's a really packed question.
I know.
I think it's like in two phases. The first thing is,
Yeah.
what would I tell women who are shuffling marriage and career,
Yeah.
and also women who feel hopeless? So
Mm-hmm.
I believe a lot in planning. You know how I talked about when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
divorce, for me, I
Mm-hmm.
think you do some things before you even say I do. I don't think it is when
Mm-hmm.
you get married.
Mm-hmm.
And women can be abusive as well, not just men. So let's
I know.
so
I
let's put that
know.
in
We need to
mind.
balance that.
So I
Yes.
don't think it is when you get married that you start thinking of how to make your marriage
Work.
what's it called, to make it work and divorce proof. But also I also believe in
Mm-hmm.
planning your marriage
Mm-hmm.
before you even get into the marriage.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that I believe in planning is planning before you have kids. Now this
Mm-hmm.
is something that a lot of Africans don't want to talk about, or they don't feel comfortable talking
But
about
we
it,
have to.
or
We
you
have
talk to
to.
them about it and they're like no,
They
because
judge you.
there's this adage in Yoruba, they say Ọlọ́run ló ń tọ́jú ọmọ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people get married. I have seen people that will get married and they they have some money, but they still have to borrow money for the marriage ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They are not done paying that debt, and then they start
Yeah.
having kids
Yes.
immediately.
Almost
Kids,
immediately. Yeah.
yeah, kids
9 or
are.
10 months later.
Oh,
Yeah.
they will even pray for you in church that in 9 months' time we'll be
We will
there
come back for another celebration.
to eat rice. So kids are great. Kids are definitely great. But if you're not ready for them, don't bring them until you're
Don't
ready
go.
for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I
can
don't
say
blame
yes
some
to
people.
that.
Some people don't know better, and also some people, the society places a lot of pressure on them to
Mm-hmm.
have kids. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the main reasons why poverty has really thrived in some parts of Nigeria is because people have children that they cannot take care of. So
Right.
having kids
Let's
is
say the
great,
truth.
but having kids can also be expensive. So
It is expensive.
you
Nothing can
it's
be.
not
I can
a
tell you that.
it's not a mistake that some people, it's not an accident when you see some people's children go to private schools. And then some people's children go to public schools.
Mm.
Before you start having kids, you should know
It's all
where do
about
I
planning.
want to have my children. Number one, do I want to have them in Lagos? Do I want to have them in the abroad? Number
These
two,
are broad.
what type?
Abroad matter.
Some people want to have them in abroad as life
Yeah.
insurance to secure their future. Number
Uh-huh.
two, what kind of school do I want my children to attend? Do I want my children to attend private school? Do I want them to go to Okesuno Secondary School?
Which is okay. It's
which
all what you want.
which
Yeah.
which is okay. It's just make sure you know what it is you are
What you
getting
want.
into. How
And
much
don't
is
begrudge those
diapers?
who planned. You see, you're really
How
talking here.
much do they sell diapers before I get pregnant? How much is it? Because I'm going to
These are
need
deep things you're talking about.
about so number of diapers for the first year, the second year. I don't know. People don't think about these things. How much do
These
they
are
sell
deep
diapers?
things.
How much is the baby food? Okay, because as they grow, that is how the expenses increase. People like to just wing things and just do everything by faith. It's great to do everything by faith, but you can also by
But
faith
faith,
have
yeah.
enough money at hand before they even start coming.
Faith
You
does
see,
not
when
deny fact. True faith does not deny
you
fact.
see,
It
when God
superimposes
created the
on
world,
fact.
He didn't start by creating human beings and then now
Yeah.
creating the food. He got everything ready
Thank you.
before making
Preach it,
Adam. He
preach
got,
it,
he
preach
got
it,
the
Pastor
garden
Adeola.
ready. There was food, there was plenty for them to eat. There
Everything
was
was created before he made
everything
man.
was ready before. It was when I got to the
Planning.
America that I knew that people plan before having children. That in Nigeria, I didn't know
I
that
wouldn't lie, me too.
everything people just tell you once
We
you
use
get married
faith.
like this. So 9 months after we
Uh,
are coming to eat rice. 1 year after your wedding, if you don't have babies, people start asking
they
you
start
questions.
fasting and praying
How
and
can we pray for you?
pressurizing.
They
Mm-hmm.
just believe you have a problem. How can we
Mm-hmm.
pray for you? And then I got to the America and I will see people who will get married and they will say, oh, we're taking our time. We're waiting for 5 years. That's like the average here in America, 5 years.
Yeah.
We're waiting for 5 years. In that 5 years, do you know what they do? They are saving money. The husband is working 24/7. The wife
Mm-hmm.
is working 24/7. They are saving money. I know a lot of friends of mine that by the end of that 5 years, before they start having kids, they bought a house. They would have bought a house with several rooms. The baby has a room
You
before the
have the
baby is
college funds
conceived.
ready.
They are already saving towards the baby's college. The baby has a room before the baby is born. The baby is not born in an apartment, and then they are now looking for how to
A
expand.
house.
And then you see these people's life, and then you feel like, oh, God is partial. Some people have
And
it
then
all.
you're bitter.
Some
You're
people don't
bitter.
have. And I have a lot of friends that after that 5 years and they decided, okay, we're ready to start a family. The wife may quit her job after having the baby. She just wants to be a stay-home mom and she's not suffering. They have a lot of
Because
money
they planned
saved.
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But in Nigeria, sorry, I keep referring to Nigeria, but that's where I grew up. A lot of
Yeah.
people would say, just have the kids after the first one. Now you can do family planning, and I'm like, okay, that's not planning, really. You plan before they even come.
Before
You
you
know what I
start.
mean?
Yes.
So I feel like,
You start.
and in that first few years of marriage, you should both focus on working on financial stability, financial freedom. Just even if you decide to wait for 1 year, just save your money. Just imagine having 2 million naira saved, and it would take away a lot of stress. I know a lot of parents that are never there for their children because they are busy trying to make money to take care of the children, when it doesn't necessarily have to be that. If you
That's right.
plan it, this
If it
is
was planned, yeah.
mostly good for single people who don't have kids yet, or it's good for married people as well. So but in that year you can focus on saving money, you can focus on advancing your careers if you want to, so that you're able to have more money come, so that by the time the kid come, you're fully there for them. It's not enough to just have kids. You should be present
You should
parents.
plan.
You have to
Yes.
be present
That's one
as
of the
parents.
scourges. One
So
of the issues we have
so
now.
that's the
Yeah.
one thing. But if there's any woman who is going through an abuse, who's going through abuse right now, or any man who is going through abuse, because some men are also abused by their wives, run for your life is what I tell people. People always abuse me when they say, oh, you are trying to break people's home, you are advocating for
No,
divorce.
no, when
I
it
say
comes to abuse
you can
and
only do something when you are alive.
yes.
We all saw
Yeah.
the video of the Ghanaian pastor that shot his
That killed
wife.
his
Like,
wife.
you
Yes.
can only do anything when you are alive. So run for
Yes.
your life. If you're in an abusive relationship, me, I don't care what your pastor says, that they are praying, God will intervene. Run, run, run.
You should separate that.
Just
That's
run for your life.
actually one of the
So,
first line
but
of, yeah.
I feel like someday I will still talk about this whole idea of, like, the idea of people planning their lives before just going into something, especially like having kids and stuff. But I'll still talk about it someday on my show. But a lot of people don't want to understand. It is not by accident that some people get rich. It is not just by
Oh
paying
no.
tithes
Oh no.
and
It is
offering.
planned.
When you don't know what to do with money, even if God blesses you, you won't know
How to sustain it,
how to
right?
sustain it. So, and in this America is where I got to understand what they call generational wealth. You see,
Yes.
like some of the people that I talked about that would wait an average of 2 to 7 years before having kids, they are well to do on their own before they start. But guess what? When they start their family, their grandparents are also,
There to
they're
support.
doing
Yeah.
well.
They
They're
have
there to
inheritance.
yeah, they have inheritance there to support them. In Nigeria, the opposite is the case. Sorry, but they so the children, people have children with
I
the
told
idea
you,
that this
Adiola
child,
keeps it
no,
real.
I'm sorry, people have children with the
Talk
idea
about it.
that this
It's
child
true.
will
It's just a
now
demonic
take care
system.
of me.
And the children take care of the parents, yeah?
People have children with the idea that this child will now take care of me.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
even biblical. Like,
Children are
the
their
Bible
investment.
says that the righteous leaves inheritance for
Leaves
their
inheritance for the
children's
children's
children.
children.
But you can't really blame people because
It's the reverse, yeah.
they grew up in a certain way. Nobody talked to them about
But
planning before you start a
this is why we
family,
have
and
this
so
platform.
they found
Just to let people
themselves
know, yeah.
struggling to raise their children, and before you know it, they're now waiting to enjoy life. Now it is the children that have to take care of them. Meanwhile, the children now also has their own family to take
Their own
care of.
family,
But
yeah.
now
Yeah.
the parent is waiting for the child to take care of
It's
them,
very
and the
warped.
children
It's a
also has.
very
There are
wrong,
some
yeah.
people that I know that are going through so much because the care of their parents is on them, the care of their children is on them. It could be a lot, but these are things that we don't necessarily talk about in
Yeah.
the Nigerian context. So sorry, some people may take offense with everything I said.
We keep
I'm
it
sorry in
real.
advance,
That's
but
why we brought
it
you
is
on
it
Hope
is
Now
what
Love
it
Our
is.
Relationship series. We talk about the truth. We talk about the real
In
issues,
fact,
and
I
I'm
know
so
some
happy.
men in Nigeria that will tell you that they can't marry a woman unless she's pregnant before they marry her. So you go
It's
into,
just,
there's no even, okay, you know how we tell, like, growing up as a Christian, they tell you, oh, it's good to keep your virginity and all that.
yeah.
And then you get married and they're like, okay, where's the baby? 9 months time. Wait, it's like, wait, I cut my virginity, so can I now
Can I now
enjoy
wait? Yeah, yeah,
myself? Like,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
not even, you can't even enjoy anything. It's like
Before
you
when
go
it's
from
too,
being
yeah.
a virgin to being a pregnant woman to being a mother, and it's just
And
like,
that's why
what
women
kind of
are
life
under
is this?
immense pressure. Immense pressure. The pressure on women on the
No.
continent in Africa is crazy.
No, but
Hey,
they say
ladies,
God will take care of
we
them.
hope that
So
I hope that we've been able to add value to you and really enlighten you about some really really important things. You, like I always say to the women in my counseling sessions, that listen, you are the thermostat and you're the thermometer. You need to measure the temperature. You need to accurately detect the temperature of your relationship, and you need to also determine. You're the thermostat. You can determine. I always say also that you're the brake pedal. You can apply the brake at every time. So, ladies, please, please, please. The only reason why we have pressure is because we're out of line. With the way the Creator Himself created us. He created us for peace, for harmony, and every time you feel pressure is because definitely something is out of harmony. There's a disharmony going on. Wow, Adeola, thank you so much. That was so powerful. That was so powerful. So I don't know if any of our live viewers, dropped any question. We're just going to take that for a few minutes and then we're going off today's show. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us live on this Hope Now, Love and Relationship series on Adeola's Keeping It Real platform. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. Let's know what your thoughts are on everything we talked about today. Adeola's talked about so many things. If you have any questions, please drop them right now below in the comment section and we will answer them. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay also, you can still also drop your comments and your questions, and I'm sure Adeola will get it. I'll make sure she gets it.
So
Is
you
there
can,
any
I think
other?
you can see the questions on the YouTube uh, feed. I don't know if you can see it.
I actually don't have the feed. That's why I'm relying on you right
Oh,
now.
oh,
I don't know
okay.
why. Maybe because I'm using my iPad. Yeah.
Okay,
It's crazy, right?
let me click on it.
I cannot.
I can see the questions, so I
You can. Okay.
yeah, I can
I
see the
can't see
questions.
nothing. I'm just seeing you and I. That's all.
Okay, so we're looking for questions now, and people have been asking questions since. So,
I
oh my
know. I trust them.
god.
I
Okay, I'm
trust them.
gonna scroll just to see.
Let's take two at least.
Okay.
Let's
Some
take
people are
two.
laughing when I say you go from being a virgin to a mother overnight. But it's so true. Like
There should be a time to
and
enjoy.
do
Yeah.
you know that some people they don't even their parents that won't talk to their daughters about sex until the wedding day, or maybe
It's
the
just
wedding is here,
crazy. That's
and
why
then the
I do
mother will
this. That's
say
why I do this,
you just
and that's
have
why I love
to.
what you do. You
And
know, the transparency and honesty. Let's talk
then
about these things.
it's like the whole time it's like you cannot get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Don't have boyfriend. Don't say anything. Or just keep your virginity. And then
Uh-uh.
they don't talk to
Let's
them
get
about what
real,
sex is. They
guys.
don't know
Let's
anything
get real.
about
Even in
sex.
the church. And hey, for
They've
those
been
of you who
told
are
all
watching me,
their
I'm an ordained
lives.
pastor.
They've been
So
told all
let's
their
let's get
lives.
real.
They've been told all their life that sex is bad. Sex is bad. Sex is bad. Sex is bad is registered
Uh-huh.
in their head. And then suddenly on the wedding day, sex is supposed to be good. You can't tell somebody all their life that sex is bad, sex is bad. It is sinners
And
that
then
have
you
sex,
just change the value.
that. And then on the wedding day, sex is good. You just have to make sure that you are
Uh-huh.
patient and
Uh-huh.
just farabale. How do I explain farabale in English? And just let the man
Will not kill somebody. Jala will not kill somebody.
just and then just like that. Are you pregnant? Have you taken him? And it's like
All of a
a
sudden,
whole
yeah.
world of confusion
Yeah.
happening in the mind of some women right
After
now.
guilt
Like
tripping you for years.
yesterday, I was still, and now it's like so I have to be
What
making
exactly should I
looking
do?
out for my
Yeah.
period, whatever. Like so, I'm making sure I'm pregnant. And no, I'm sorry, but we don't see. Somebody wrote that child brings blessings. Of course, child brings blessings,
See, these are the kind of
but child brings blessings. But okay, first of all, there are so
yes,
many
child brings
poor
blessing.
people who have children.
That's gambling.
What is happening? Why is their children not bringing the blessings? You need to plan your life. Child bring blessings,
Because that's even wrong.
especially
That's
when you
putting some
plan it
children under
well.
pleasure. You see what I don't like about that statement.
Especially when you
So
plan
the
it
child that was
well.
born into
The
a poor family and they stayed poor. That means that child has bad head.
the one thing that pisses me off is when I see people who
I
grew up
don't like
in
some. It's
when
just outright ignorance.
when I see people who grew up in poor homes and then they
Yeah,
get married and they live the exact same life that their parents lived, that always makes me upset. Like
yeah,
two things should be your inspiration for wanting to make sure that you plan your life well.
yeah.
If you come
The
from
the
a
the,
poor
the suffering
family,
you went through. Yes.
you should have it at the back of your mind. I don't want to repeat this. I don't
This.
want
Yes.
my children to grow up like this. I want a different life for my children. You have to have that in mind before you even start the family. The other thing that should be your
I
inspiration,
agree.
if you come from a well-to-do family, at least average well-to-do, you went to a private school. Your children should never have to experience a lesser quality of life than you did. It's not fair. You grew
It's
up,
not fair.
you
Yeah.
went to private school and all
The
that.
next generation should be an
Your
improvement on the
next
former one.
generation, your children should not experience anything less than what you experience. You should be determined that, you know what, I need to plan well. I had a good upbringing. I want my children to have a good upbringing or even better upbringing than I did. You have to plan. I'm not saying that children are not blessing. Of course, children are blessing, but there's a blessing and then there's a better blessing, especially when you plan them, because you can enjoy them being blessing even from the womb. Some people get pregnant, they can afford to
I don't like this idea of putting pressure on the child,
on the child
even before they were
or
born.
putting everything on God when God has given you the brain
Well, give us a brain. Thank
to
you.
plan. I
I
know
think
people
you
that will
watched the
get
former
pregnant
episodes of Hope Now.
and
God gave us a brain, not for decoration.
I know people that when they get pregnant, they can afford to go for massage every week and just take time off work and relax. And at the same time, I know
Because
people
they plan
that
their life that way.
because they plan it that way. And then I know people that will get pregnant and they can't afford to get off work at least until the baby comes, because
Because it wasn't planned.
finances, not necessarily because it wasn't planned, but the finances is not adding up, so they
That's what
have
I
to be
mean by
there.
the,
And
financial
honestly,
planning. Yeah.
I'm not trying to offend anybody with these
But
things that
let's
I'm
say the
talking
truth,
about,
because these are the
but
fundamental
I
things
just feel
wrong on the
like
continent, Adeola.
our society as a whole will change. Number one, if people
Yes.
don't have more children than they can take care of,
Yes.
and
Everything
number
is not the
two,
government, the people,
the
the mentality.
people, if people are, I see a question now that I will answer. Number two, if people plan having kids before having them, and if they don't have more children, you don't need 8 children if you cannot afford it. You don't need to, because you want a boy, you keep having children. Is children. I'm a
Sure,
child.
yes.
I'm
It might be a
somebody's
girl
child, and
that's gonna even make your
a
name. Yeah.
woman. I'm not a man, I'm a woman, but guess what? My entire family is extremely proud of me. I don't have to be a man for me. You don't have your children, you don't have to have a boy for your children to be successful, because there's also that thing with Africans, and they always want male children, whatever. A child is a child, and any child can be successful. It's better to have 2 children that you know you can take good care of, or 4 children you know you can take good care of, than having 10 children because you are looking for a boy by fire by force. So I see one question somebody was asking me.
Okay, please answer that last question.
Yeah, so
I have to sign off and go celebrate my birthday
it
dinner
is
with
your
my
birthday.
family.
That
Today is
is
my
true. It is
birthday,
your birthday.
guys.
Happy birthday. So someone said that. So am I saying that women must have sex before they get married? No, I never said that.
No, no, I definitely won't
So
say
maybe the
that.
person didn't join us before we got to that
Before,
question.
yes.
I had said it earlier that it's good when couples get married to take their time before starting a family,
A
before having
baby.
kids.
Yes.
You can decide that the first 2 years we're just going to not just enjoy each other, but we're going to save, we're going to work as hard as we can, and we're going to save money. I mean, how wonderful will it be for you to have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million naira saved in your bank account before you even get pregnant? If anything
Yes.
happens at that time, you have this peace of mind that it's okay.
Yes.
I have something. It's not about you wanting to be a millionaire or being rich, even if all you save is 300,000 naira. Some people, maybe you never had that in your account. Even if all you say is 300,000 naira before you start having the kids, just you don't, the fact that you got married to someone doesn't mean you have to have kids immediately. You can plan
Yes.
how you want your life, and especially your children's life, to be, so you can enjoy each other at that time. I never said that women should be having sex
Yes.
before they got
Please
married.
go
What I
watch the
said
replay.
was,
Yes.
I don't think it's emotionally good, for at least for some people. Some people, they are fine with it, but for you to tell a girl all her life, keep your virginity, don't have sex, sex is bad, only sinners have sex is terrible, this that, sex is nasty, and then on the wedding night suddenly you tell them sex is good,
She's put
make sure
under the
that
pressure
you
to have to
calm
be
down and
pregnant
farabale for your husband to enter you, and this
and be
that.
pregnant.
And then
Immediately.
after 1 month they're like, so are you pregnant? And it's like you just go from being a virgin to being a mother
Being a mom.
overnight. Like there's no break in between to even enjoy, to discover each other sexually, to enjoy each other
As a
sexually.
couple, yes.
There's so much about sex.
Preach it.
It's not just about the man entering. There's a lot.
Preach it. Preach
There's
it.
a
Preach
lot
it.
about sex
Preach
that
it to the
people don't
married people,
even.
because that's also some of
And
the
this is
things
why I feel
that put the
like,
strain between husbands and wives.
exactly, and I feel like a
Do you
lot of
get? They didn't have the
women.
time to really bond. They didn't have the
Exactly,
time to bond,
to bond.
very early in the relationship.
Not only that, a lot of women don't never reach orgasm.
Yeah.
It's all about the man reaches orgasm, and then
Yeah,
that's it.
and
So a lot
all
of
about
women,
having a baby.
yeah, they never
Just there's too much
experience
pressure.
the gratification that comes from sex, and suddenly they are moms. So it's like you're having sex just to reproduce.
That's
That's
right.
not
That's
the
right.
only reason why
Not
God
to get to
created
know each other
sex.
as a couple
god God created
and enjoy
sex
each other as a
for you
couple.
to tell my mother you are blessed.
Enjoy.
So I think that that's the end of my ranting for
Enjoy each other
today.
as a couple. Eh? That's usually one of the things that brings the frustration in relationships. I'm into counseling, so I know these things. Jola, thank you.
So
Thank you.
people are
Preach it, preach it.
asking about you, and oh my god, I feel bad that they didn't see your name. Her name is on
Oh,
the
my name is
screen.
Rookie Peniel, and I'm the host of Hope Now Love and Relationship series. Thank you all for joining this show, which is it was meant to be on my platform. But you see, God is very merciful. God knows there's a whole lot of you that needs to get to know me. So please check me out on Facebook, Rookie Peniel, on Instagram, Hope Now Rookie P, I'm sure we will scroll that later. Deola tried already to write. But my name is Ruki Peniel, and I'm the host of Hope Now Love and Relationship Series, this show, which is airing on Deola's platform. Deola, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
having
I know
me.
we're going to bring you back. I'm so sure.
Thank you for
Because you
having
keep it
me.
real. You
And
keep it
I
real.
feel like a lot of people might have been offended by some of the things
No,
I talked
no, no. You
about.
keep it real.
Don't be
If you
offended.
watch
It's
the
just
old
life.
videos,
Hold
if you
on
watch
to
the old
that.
editions, this is what Love and Relationship Series is about. This is what Hope Now conferences, the live conferences, is all about. People come in and talk about their relationship issues, husband and wives and all of that, the brink of divorce, and they just air it like that in a conference where they don't know me before, but because of the atmosphere of transparency and ease, they're able to talk about their relationship issues and get counseled right. So I believe you've helped me a lot today to counsel a lot of men and women to know exactly why there's pressure in their relationship. It just might be that you need to go polish up your bedroom, your other room affairs. Mm? It is well. Thank you so much, Diola.
So
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you
happy
so much for
birthday!
joining me.
First of all, you invited me. You are interviewing me on your birthday.
I
Thank you
know it's
so much.
special.
Like that you're spending your birthday and we are talking about family planning. And by the way, when I talked about family planning, some people are like, "No, I'm not taking any drugs." You don't even need to take any family planning medication. You can know your cycle.
You
You
can
can
plan your dates.
abstain.
Yeah,
You can
usually.
abstain some days of the month and do other things. There are other things you can do sexually that you can both reach orgasm. It's not necessarily that you have to
Without
enter.
without
You know.
drugs.
My
Hey,
father,
Diola,
you
I
must
will
to
bring you to
enjoy your
someone.
marriage. Marriage is for you to enjoy, my
I think you can
sisters.
do a
And you
special.
can
We
reach
can do
orgasm.
a
I'm telling you, there are
special
so many
one.
ways you can reach orgasm. There are so many things you can do. It feels good when you do. It's not just the man that's supposed to reach orgasm. I don't know what we've been
Diola is
told,
coming back to
but
come
I'm
and
telling
do
you, you can
sex.
prolong your honeymoon and it will be like, Father, you'll be
We,
speaking in
we
tongues.
will do we will
Anyway.
do we will do one that's gonna be let's talk about sex. No, I'm not kidding, Diola. I'm bringing you on Hope Now again. Please just know this. We're writing you another invitation. We're bringing you on Love and Relationship, and we'll say let's talk about sex. You
No,
talk
you
to the
can't. You
singles.
cannot bring me on. I beg. I'm again to somebody. I
You
don't want
talk to the no,
anybody
this one
to.
that you have shown yourself. You talk to the we're coming to America. Hope Now is in the US, Dallas and Maryland and Virginia. You could talk to the singles and you talk to the married. We'll keep it real about sexual affairs in relationships. Let's keep it real. Thank you so much. Your girl has
All
been keeping
right,
it
thank
real.
you for having me. And
Thank
if I
you.
can
And
just say one
so,
last thing, if nobody
yes,
gets anything out of everything we talked about, I think you should
yeah,
have it in mind that your children should have a better life than you do. And please
yes.
don't be raising them with the idea of, oh, I'm waiting for them to be successful so they can take care of me. They didn't necessarily ask to come
To be
when
born,
things are not okay. You are the one that decided to bring them. It's
have
never an
them.
accident. So don't put extra pressure on your children to be the ones to take care of you. Take care of yourself,
Ah,
and just make sure you give them a better life. And this expectation don't, and also teach your children about taking their time, making sure they get their education and everything, and they plan their families before having it. But once again, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but it is what it is.
well, some people needed to hear that, I'm sure. Thank you so much. Everybody said thank you to my guest, Adeola. Please, if you're watching the replay, drop your comments below. Let's know what you think about today's episode, or if you have any other questions, we will try and get to it. If you need counseling, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll leave my details in the replay later on. My name is Ruki Peniel, and I'm the host of Hope Now Love and Relationship Series. Thank you, Adeola, who has been keeping it real, and I'll see you soon.
Bye, bye
Love you. Thank you
everyone.
so much.